Have you ever felt like you are sabotaging yourself or sabotaging your success? Or maybe you feel unworthy of success or you feel like you're not deserving of it. If that's you, you are going to love today's episode. I'm Dana Wilde. You're listening to Positive Mindset for Entrepreneurs. This is the show where you break through limiting beliefs so you can build your business quickly. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for spending time with me today. And remember to hit that subscribe button and you will get notified when I go live. So I want to talk with you about this topic because somebody wrote in and sent us a message. Actually, if you're interested in getting your question answered on the show, you can do that at danawilde.com/askdana. And that's exactly what this person did. They wrote, I have a deep sense that I'm not worthy of being skilled or of achieving things or of being successful. In fact, when I start to achieve something or accomplish something good, then I usually stop and I usually sabotage myself quite effectively. And then they go on to give some examples, but we don't need those examples. I've got a lot to say about this topic because we get this message over and over and over again in the online world. So if you're in any kind of a social media platform where you spend any time, you see this messaging come through all the time. Are you sabotaging yourself? Or your brain is sabotaging you? Or the idea that you'll never, ever, ever be successful because you don't think you're worthy and you have to raise your deserve level. And I'm going to tell you, for me, these are just completely false. And I'm going to tell you why. You maybe have heard me say on the show before, the problem is not the problem. The problem is that I keep thinking and talking about the problem, right? So I don't think that you are sabotaging yourself. I think you keep thinking and talking about sabotaging yourself. You know, for me to think that your brain would be sabotaging you, then I would have to think of your brain like a mugger. You know, like it's hiding behind a tree and it's just waiting for you to make one move so that it can knock you over the head and sabotage you. You know, it's kind of just like a ludicrous, ridiculous idea. Your brain is your best friend and it works perfectly. And whatever input you give it is the output that you get. Whatever you think about, whatever you talk about, your reticular activating system part of your brain, the part of your brain that I like to call the little matchmaker, stands at attention all day, every day, and it matches. It sifts through the mucky muck, all the different things that you see and hear and you know, the stimuli and the colors and the sounds. It sifts through all of that and it matches up. Whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're talking about, those are the things that come into your awareness, or those are the things that don't come into your awareness based on what you're talking about. And so, you know, it's like that idea of the chicken and the egg. You know, which came first? Did you have the idea that you were sabotaging yourself first, or did you have the result that you were sabotaging yourself first? And I don't think it matters. The point is you're aware now. This is your wake-up call that says you can, if you want to keep getting results that you're unhappy with, keep talking that story that says, I sabotage myself and I ruin my success. So say those sentences just a couple of times and feel how they feel in your body. When I'm successful, I sabotage my success. When I'm successful, when I start to have success, I sabotage my success. I'm sabotaging myself. Like, right? It doesn't feel good at all. And is that the message you want your brain to match? No, that's not the message you want your brain to match. So does self-sabotage exist? And the answer is the story of self-sabotage exists. So if you tell the story of self-sabotage over and over and over again, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because your brain is not sabotaging you. Your brain is your best friend, and your brain is matching whatever you are thinking about and whatever you are talking about. Now, I want to address this undeserving one because it's a big one, and it's one for me too. And and then I'm going to come back around and we're going to get to some real fix it stuff on both of these. So I myself have this story going for a long time that I feel undeserving or I feel unworthy. And I don't know where it came from or how it originated, but I know there's this idea that I had for ages and ages and ages about how can you really justify making so much money when there are people who don't have anything? How can you feel deserving? What story can you tell yourself that makes you feel like you're worthy? And I know you can say, well, everybody's worthy, but the reality is not everybody has. And so how do you feel right about it? How do you feel good about it? And so year after year after year after year, I really struggled with this. I was going online and everybody was saying, you're never going to be successful if you don't raise your deserve level. You're never going to be successful if you don't feel worthy. And I was just grappling with this consistently. How do you feel worthy? How do you feel worthy? How do you feel like you deserve and when others don't have? And finally, one day it came to me. And this is the piece I'm going to share with you. We live in a fix-it culture. We live in a culture that says you can be successful when you fixed all these little things about yourself. You have to be familiar with technology. You have to be an extrovert and be willing to talk to people. You have to be organized. You have to not procrastinate. You definitely can't be a smoker or drink too much. And you have to feel worthy. And endless list of things that you have to be if you're going to be successful. And the thing that hit me so many years ago was, you know what? Why am I struggling with this and trying to fix this thing and trying to feel better and trying to fix myself over and over again when, guess what? I could be successful anyway. I don't need to fix that thing to be successful. And oh my gosh, doesn't that sound so much easier than figuring out every little problem I've got and trying to wrestle it to the ground and kill it before I can be successful? So at that time, what I started saying is I started saying a little transitory statement. This is a phrase that I discuss in the book, Train Your Brain. And what transitory statements are is they're not perfect mantras. You know, they're not like these perfect mantras where it's like, I am successful, I am abundant, I am worthy, right? And instead, it's a little phrase that feels better, even though it's not in 100% perfect language. So the phrase I started using, multiple phrases, were phrases that use the word but. So I would say things like, I still don't feel deserving, but the money's still flowing in. I may not feel deserving, but I'm willing to step up. Don't feel 100% deserving, but I'm willing to be the example, but I'm willing to be successful anyway, but things are still working out for me, but clients are still finding me, but my following is still growing, on and on and on. The reason this works and the reason this is so powerful is because the word but, it's a power word. And the word but, it triggers the brain to ignore everything that came before the word but. Your brain literally does not even hear anything that comes before the word but. It only hears what comes after the word but. So if you haven't figured this out yet, you can really use this for everything, right? You can use it for if you are disorganized, I may be disorganized, but I'm still successful, but money is still flowing, right? You can be an introvert. I'm an introvert, but my clients like my style, but I get clients through referrals. Like anything you say, your brain only hears what comes after the word but. So that's what your brain is matching. So all of these stories that we tell, all of these things that we give as our reasons for why we're not successful, I've got this problem and I've got that problem. And, I don't feel worthy and I sabotage myself and all of that stuff. You can erase it literally that quickly. Even the sabotage one, you can say, I'm still wonder if I'm sabotaging myself, but I'm happen to be successful anyway. But The money's still flowing anyway, but my tribe is still growing anyway. Right. So you don't have to change who you are. You don't even have to change the story. You just need to start speaking about it differently. Speak about it differently. That is the real trick with train your brain or with getting your reticular activating system on board with your dreams. So start with that, with the undeserving one. With the self-sabotage one, you get to decide, is this a story that serves me? Is this a story that's helping me or benefiting my business? And if you decide it's not, then what I'd like to tell you is, well, just stop saying it or stop thinking it. But it's not really possible to stop thinking something, because when you try to stop thinking something, you end up focusing on it even more. So instead, I would start a new little story in the background of your day. Like whenever you think about it as you're going around about your day, just start a new little story in the back of your mind where you're thinking intentionally in your brain things like, I may not be 100% perfect, but I feel like I'm getting better and better at these things. I feel like things are shifting for me. I notice that I'm getting better at being nice to myself. I like the direction I'm headed. I like being a brain trainer. I like thinking these good thoughts. I like focusing on thoughts. I like being able to be a proactive thinker. It's nice to know that when I think a thought, I shift my emotion. It feels good to think good thoughts and to feel how it affects my body. I like even just saying little sentences like something is shifting. I'm feeling better. 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 I'm feeling better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Right? It's so simple. Don't you feel better? Feeling better. I like that idea. I like that this is shifting. I like that I don't have to take it so seriously. I like the idea that I can just relax around this and quit trying to fix everything. And oh my gosh, what a relief that I don't have to fix anything. And it feels so good to be able to just relax and just live and just be who I am and be authentically me. And I don't have to be perfect to be successful. And I can count the little successes and I can ease into it. I love the idea that my brain is supporting me. Wow, what a concept. That's such a feel-good concept. It's such a better concept than where I've been coming with this. And it makes sense. Of course, I've got this little matchmaker that lives in my head that's spending all day, every day working on my behalf, looking for the things that I'm interested in. I love being a brain trainer. I love thinking positively. I love moving forward. I love easing into new ideas. I love being my imperfect self and still being successful. It's so much easier to do this way. I love taking the fun, light, and easy path. And it is that easy. So be kind to yourself and know that your brain is your best friend, and know that it's okay if you don't feel deserving. That's a big one. You don't need to be successful. You can have everything you want being exactly like you are. Let's quit being members of the fix-it crew. Let's instead just start embracing our natural selves, feeling good about who we are, being our authentic selves. And guess what? That will lead to success. And without a doubt, you've totally got this.